Welcome. I am Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I'm coming to you today from sunny Florida. And I'm so glad that you are here. I have some quick and easy birthday cards. And the designer series paper that I'm using makes these cards quick and easy and lovely. This is beautiful designer series paper. You can only order this through Online Exclusives, and I will give you that order number when I turn the camera down. And talking about Online Exclusives, and these are products that are not in the catalogs, but they are on my store, in my store, which I have the link in the description. And today, Tuesday, March 5th of 2024, we have some brand new Online Exclusives products that you can choose from. So just wanted to make you aware of that. I also have my March Card Club and my March Card Class kit to go, and I'll tell you more about that when I turn the camera down. If this is your first time here or you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe by clicking that subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube. All right, I have prizes to give away before we start stamping. March is my anniversary month. I signed up in March 4 years ago during the pandemic, and so this is my my anniversary month. So I'm going to be giving prizes out each week that I do my weekly live. And how you enter is by leaving a comment, sharing this video, and placing an order with me this week. So let me give you the winners from last week. So I have a package of embellishments. These are the Gilded Gems, and the winner of the random drawing for leaving a comment last week on Facebook or YouTube was Christina Fullen from Ohio. So Christina, if you're watching this, I don't have your address, so please reach out to me. You can email me at rusticbarncards@gmail.com, and I will get this in the mail to you. So congratulations. And the winner of the random drawing for sharing my video, you will receive ribbon, a roll of ribbon, and plus 6x6 designer series paper. And congratulations, Rachel Swanson of Arizona, for sharing my video. You are the winner of the random drawing. I do not have your address, so please reach out to me. And the winner of the random drawing for placing an order with me is Vicki Palmer. And Vicki, I do have your address, and Vicki lives in Iowa. And I will be sending you this stamp set called Heartfelt Hellos. So congratulations to the winners. And again, 3 ways: leave a comment, share my video, and place an order. And your name will be in a drawing for a prize. And I will share those next Tuesday. I come live or recording on Tuesday of each week at 1 p.m. Central. All right, enough chit chat, and I'm going to turn the camera down so we can start stamping. All right, we're going to get started, and I want to talk about 2 things that I have going on right now. And the first one is my Rustic Barn Card Club, and this is a monthly subscription, although you may try it for 1 month and then just cancel. And of course, after 6 months consecutively being part of the Rustic Barn Card Club, I do give you a $25 credit. But again, you can try it for a month, 2 months, however long that you want. There are 5 projects this month, and I'm using the Everyday Details, and there are 4 cards plus a 3D project, and the last day to sign up is March 10th, and all the information is in the description below. And then I also have my card class. This is my online card class to go. So this is my card class for March, and I have everything prepped for you, and I ship it out to you in the mail. I'm going to be using the Simply Xenia stamp set and the dies that go with this, plus the beautiful paper. And this is an online exclusive that everyone will be able to order from starting today, March 5th. So this is what I'm using for my online card class. And again, I'll have all the cards prepped and ready for you to put together. You do either need your own stamp set, or you can definitely add the stamp set and dies on to the card class. And again, there's information in the description. All right, well, let's get started on our cards today. I'm going to be using the Meandering Meadows, and this is also an online exclusive, and the order number in the United States is 162735. Again, 162735. And what I love about this designer series paper are the beautiful scenes. It's like watercolor. I mean, just as you can see, these would be great for scrapbooking, but also for making cards. And I won't be showing you all of the beautiful scenes, and then on the back side, you have, so this one here is, both sides are floral, but then you also have the back of a lot are, and of course I use that piece. You have plain backgrounds are not as floral. Now, so here you have a scene, and then the back you have these beautiful, beautiful flowers. So again, just wanted to quickly show that to you. And this is a perfect designer series paper to use to make some quick cards. And I'm going to be making birthday cards today, but you could make, depending on the sentiment, whatever cards that you wanted by using whatever sentiment. But I want to show you how quick and easy these cards are to make. And I have chosen fresh freesia cardstock, and then I have chosen get those out of the way. I've chosen 3 6x6 designer series paper from the Meandering Meadows pack, and we're going to make 3 cards using the designer series paper fresh freesia. And then we're going to do the same thing with crushed curry, and we have some designer series paper that I think will match up really nice. We're going to start with the trimmer, and I'm bringing in basic white thick cardstock, and I'm going to place this in the trimmer. I'm going to get my cutting blade out of the way. I'm going to place this with the 8.5 at the top, the 11 inches on the side, and I'm going to place this at 4 1/4, and I'm going to score at 4 1/4. So I'm going to be making 2 card bases at once, and I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to place it at 5 1/2. And now I'm going to use the cutting blade, and I have 2 card bases. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold and burnish with our bone folder. And I'll do that with the second one too. I'm going to bring in our fresh freesia, and I'm going to place this at 5 1/4. Then I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to place it at 4 inches. Lay that aside, And I'm going to do the same at 4 inches and lay that aside. And let's go ahead and make 2 cards. And then I still have some fresh freesia left over. So I'm going to lay that aside, and we're going to bring in our designer series paper. So I'm going to cut this at 5. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do this at 3 3/4 first. So I'm going to go ahead and place this. So here is my scene. So I'm going to turn it and place it at 3 3/4. We're going to try this again. Okay, I am going to start with 3 3/4, but I'm going to place it so I can see the scene. So I see the scene, and I just have to decide whether I want the tree or I want the water in there. So we're going to go ahead and place this at 3 3/4. We can use this for another card. Then I'm going to turn, and we're going to place this at 5. Now, I'm going to be cutting part of the tree off. If I do it this way, so I'm going to turn it and see if I like this better. And I do, so I'm going to go ahead. And we can use this for another card. And then this is what we have to layer for our card. Okay? So, let's do another one. So I'm going to bring in another 6x6 designer series paper. I'm going to take a little bit off the top. So I'm going to place this in here where it's 5 1/4. And I'm just going to remove some of the sky, lay that aside. And then I'm going to turn it this way. And again, I can put it at 3 3/4. And we can get this. Or we can turn it around if we would rather have this on our paper. So we're going to go ahead and add that tree in there. Again, I'm going to lay that aside. And then this piece is what we're going to use. So let's go ahead and make those 2 cards. I'm going to bring in, this is 3 inches by 8.5, basic white. And I'm going to be using Hooray for surprises. You can use whatever you have for your sentiment. And I want to make birthday cards because I need lots of birthday cards. And I'm going to use Hope Your Birthday is Wonderful. I'm going to use our Memento black ink. And I've already stamped Hope Your Birthday is Wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. And stamp that. Bring in our punch, our hexagon punch. And get this lined up. And then we'll ink up our stamp again. And I think I should be able to get another one. So we'll just go ahead and do that. And if you get a little bit crooked, you don't have to worry because you can line it up when you use your punch. And I'll show you that in just a second. So I'm going to bring in our punch. And then I'm going to line this up so you can make sure that it's straight in here. And you can see that is crooked. But again, we're going to move this so it is straight. Okay, we're going to bring in our fresh freesia. We're going to bring in one of the designer series paper that is 3 3/4 by 5. I'm going to add some adhesive, and then we'll line this up. Make sure we have it straight, or as straight as we can. I like to get that lined up before I go ahead and then apply pressure. And then I'm going to bring this in. Now you can add dimensionals, or you can just go ahead and add it right on here. So I'm just going to use adhesive for this card, but you can mix and match. You can I could pop this layer up with dimensionals. I could wrap some linen thread or some ribbon around these 2 layers before I placed it on my card base. So you have lots of different options. And then we're going to go ahead and add dimensionals to our sentiment piece. I'm going to put 3 like this. And we'll put this about right here. And I'll bring in some embellishments. I'm going to bring in these beautiful purple fine shimmer gems. And you have 3 colors. I think it's Blackberry Bliss, Gorgeous Grape, and Highland Heather. And we are going to use the Highland Heather. And you have small and you also have large. We're going to go ahead and use the small. So here is our first card, quick and easy. Let's go ahead and make our second card. Bring in our fresh freesia cardstock layer and second designer series paper. We're going to go ahead and add this. Okay, and then let's bring in some linen thread. I love linen thread. So we can just wrap this around and tie a bow. I feel like I have too much. So let's see here. I'm going to pull it this way. There we go. I like to leave it on the spool when I make my bow. That way I feel like I don't waste quite as much. All right, bring in some scissors. And then we can work with the bow. And now we're going to add this on here. But let's see if we want to move this bow anywhere. So I'm going to bring in our sentiment piece. And if you want that bow a little closer to your sentiment, you can go ahead and you can still kind of, move this over. So we can have it right like that if we want to, if we want it closer to our sentiment. But you know what? I kind of like it over to the left a little bit more. So we're just going to slide that over. Right like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and add our adhesive. And then I am going to pop up our sentiment with dimensionals. And we will put that right here. Hope your birthday is wonderful. And then we can do a little trimming. And you can make your bow a little bit larger, a little bit smaller. And if it twists a little bit, you can untwist your linen thread and then just kind of use your fingers to open up to make a better bow. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our gems, and I'm going to use the larger of the Highland Heather. Put one down here, but we'll just put it right there. Okay, so do you see how quick and easy these two cards have come together? All right, well, we also have, this is a piece that when I cut this one here, we had this piece left over. And then when I cut this, we had this piece left over. So let me show you how you can make a card using these. I'm going to bring back our fresh freesia. This is the same piece that we were using. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to trim this at 5 1/4. You always want to make sure your cardstock is up against the top. So I'm going to trim this piece off. Then I'm going to turn and I'm going to go ahead and place this at 4 inches. And we will get another piece at 4. So we're able to make 4 cards from one piece of cardstock. And you could make more depending on how you cut your cardstock if you wanted smaller layers. So we're just going to go ahead and add our fresh freesia cardstock on a card base. And our card base is basic, quite thick. I like to use the thick for card bases. Then when I do my die cutting, I use just the basic white. Okay, and now we are going to bring this in right here. And we are going to add this. I'm going to put it over to the left just a little bit. Now this fits perfectly because we did cut a little bit off the sky. So this fits perfectly right here. And then we are going to bring in our sentiment. We're going to pop that up. And I have done the same thing already with the crushed curry. So I'm going to share those cards with you. And then we can just place that right here. Add some embellishments. And we're going to use the gorgeous grape. All right, we'll come back and look at this in a second. And let's go ahead and make one more card using the other piece for my 6x6 that I cut off. So we're going to use this next. So I've already cut another basic white, which is 5.5 by 8.5. I'm going to bring in that last piece of fresh freesia layer of cardstock, and then I'm going to bring our designer series paper, but you can see that this is going to be too long. Now I could go ahead and adhere this and just cut it and trim it with my scissors, but I'm not a very good trimmer with scissors because I probably couldn't cut a straight line. So therefore we're going to bring in our trimmer, and we want this to be 5.5 because our cardstock is 5.5. Our card base is 5.5. Our layer is 5.25. So we want to cut our designer series paper 5.25. And I want more of the flowers than I want of the sky. So I'm going to turn this, and it's going to be 5.25. So we still have the sky and all the flowers. This piece I will probably just throw away, although I could probably use it. And so now you could go ahead if you wanted to, emboss this. That would give it some texture. But again, I'm trying to make quick cards. So I am not going to do any embossing. And I want to show you how you can make quick cards in a short amount of time. And because this designer series paper is so beautiful, it's going to look great. Now, we could add this designer series paper. We could pop it up with dimensionals. Let's go ahead and put it more in the middle than we did the last one, just for something a little bit different. Get that in the middle. And I already stamped another sentiment. And we are going to go ahead and pop this up. And then we're going to add a bow. So just to show you can just do simple little things to make a card look different. Then we're going to look at these cards that we made. Plus I already have the ones with the crushed curry already made. Just wanted to show you how to do this. Let's see. Let's just put that right over here because I really want to show those beautiful flowers. I'm going to bring in a bow using the linen thread that I've already made into a bow. And let's see where we want to place that. You place it right there. Maybe right here. Let's go ahead and bring in our glue dot. And then I am going to bring in my take your pick tool. And then I'm just going to make this in smaller. So I can put that on our linen thread bow. And I think we'll place that right here. And let's just snip those off. And of course we need some embellishments. Let me see if let's use a small, let's use, I think it's Blackberry Bliss, I believe, is the darker color. I wanted to check. So the darker is Berry Burst, Gorgeous Grape, and Highland Heather. So Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape, and Berry Burst. All right, let me bring in the cards that we have done so far. So these two are the ones that when I cut the layer at 3 3/4 by 5, then I had this piece left over, but I wanted to show that you can also use this to make a card. I guess I'll put them right there. And then here are our other two cards. So this is the piece from this card here. And then we wrap the linen thread around there. So again, you know, you can make 4 cards really quick, like in 10 minutes that you can do that. So you can have 8 cards in 20 to 30 minutes. And then you can just pull from those when you have a birthday. Okay, let me show you the same concept, but using the crushed curry and the designer series paper. All right, let me show you. So again, I used 1 sheet of cardstock to make 4 cards. I used crushed curry, and here I used a layer of crushed curry and designer series paper. And then what I had left over after I cut for this card, then I used for this card. And on this card here, I did pop up the layer with dimensionals. So I will probably I'll probably give someone this card because it's easier to mail if it's not popped up, but it does go through the mail just fine too, even when you do pop it up with dimensionals. And of course, the sentiment and the hexagon layer is popped up. And then the other 2 cards, before I show you the other 2 cards, this is the 6x6 designer series paper that I used to make both of these cards. And then my other 2 cards, I used designer series paper, and I decided to add linen thread underneath the sentiment. I have not added any embellishments, but I will. And then for this card, I used crushed curry, and I used this 5 1/2, and let's see, it is 3 1/4 wide. So it's the crushed curry is 3 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I tried to put it in the middle, and then added my designer series paper and popped it up with dimensionals. And then inside I had a leftover piece that I added, and then on this card here I went ahead and added the leftover little strip to give it a little more interest inside. So these are the 4 cards with the crushed curry. So I hope you like those. And here are the cards with fresh freesia. So these 2 cards were the same designer series paper, and then these 2 cards were the same designer series paper. So again, I have 8 basic white card bases. I used 2 sheets of cardstock besides my card bases, 1 sheet of crushed curry to make 4 cards, and 1 sheet of fresh freesia. And then I used 4 I used 4 sheets of 6x6 designer series paper to make 8 cards, and I use the Meandering Meadows. Again, 162735 is the ordering number. So I hope that you like this video. It's quick and easy. And now I have 8 birthday cards in my stash that I can pull from when a birthday comes along. Thank you for watching. I'm Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. Have a great week. I will see you soon, and bye for now.